Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make spinach and chana gravy dish. It's a really good, I think, double duty thing. It can be had as a sabzi or as a main dish or as a side dish. So let's get started.
Right.
So in this pan over here, I have 1 cup of water, and we're going to use 1 pound of fresh green spinach, and we're going to put it in here, take it to the stove, and just allow it to cook.
Be sure you don't cover it.
And yes, our spinach has already been washed.
And while the spinach is cooking down, we're going to cook down some of our veggies here. So we have about 1 medium onion, which we've sliced. We have 2 medium tomatoes sliced, about 1 inch of ginger, which is also sliced. We have about 4 or 5 large cloves of garlic sliced, and a little bit of green chilies. That's optional and to taste. You can put as much or as little as you like. So we're going to go to our stove and start sauteing these. Here we have 1 tablespoon of oil heating in our pan. We're going to add our whole spices. We're going to add 3 to 5 cloves, depending on how intense you want it. 1 inch piece of cinnamon, broken into little pieces. 1/4 teaspoon of whole black peppercorn. 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom seeds. 1/4 teaspoon of fennel seeds. And 2 tablespoons of whole coriander seed. And we'll lightly roast these spices. And give that about a 30-second stir. And once the coriander seed is light brown, you can add in our onions, garlic, ginger, and green chilies. And we'll saute this until the onions caramelize. And as always, we'll sprinkle just a little bit of salt, about 1/2 teaspoon, to help the onions cook faster.
So here's our spinach. After it wilted, we allowed it to cook for another 5 to 7 minutes, and ours is done. We're going to turn off the stove and set it aside. This is a multi-step process, and one of the things we did last night, so we took 2 cups of dried chanas, washed them and soaked them in water for 8 hours or overnight. And then what we did was we put it in a pressure cooker with 6 cups of water and about 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Allowed it to come to pressure and whistle 1 time, lowered the heat and allowed it to cook for 45 minutes, and then let the pressure release all by itself. And this is what we ended up with. The chanas have opened up a little bit and they've got a little bit of the salt in them. Perfect. And we're a step closer.
Right. Now, if you don't have time to do the whole soaking and the pressure cooking business, then you can always use canned garbanzo beans. They work equally well. You just need 2 cans of garbanzo beans, which you're going to rinse out. So you don't want to use any of the liquid that's in the can. So wash them well, and you can get to the same process right here. Okay, the onions have been cooking for about 5 minutes, and it's starting to caramelize. At this point, we'll add in our tomatoes. And continue cooking until the tomatoes cook down. Okay, the tomatoes are completely cooked down. We're going to switch off the stove and transfer this mixture into another bowl so that it cools down.
So the next step is we're going to grind the masala that we cooked over there and the spinach. So what we're going to first do is we're going to grind the masalas. That way this is a fine blend, and then we can add in the spinach, and then we can control the texture that we want. So a lot of people don't like the texture of the spinach, you know, like kids especially, and some adults. So if that's the case, you know, you can just make it a total paste. But if you don't mind the texture, you can, you know, just pulse it a few times, and that should be good.
You may need to open your blender up and just push down the edges to make sure you get a nice smooth blend.
And here's what it looks like. Pretty smooth mixture. And now we can add in the spinach.
And we can use this cooking water for the spinach as well to help us grind.
There you go, we're feeding our picky kids. So we're doing it smooth.
Now we're going to return this mixture back to our cooking pan, and we'll see you at the stove. So we're going to turn our pan back on a medium and transfer this mixture in. If you need to add a little bit of water just to clean up your blender, you can do that, about a 1/4 cup, and add it in. Mix it through, and now we're going to add in the chana. And be sure you drain out the liquid.
So we're going to take some of the water from the chanas and we'll just help the dish form some gravy. And you can use as much or as little as you like.
At this point, you can check the salt and adjust it now. And we're going to cover it and then let it cook for about 10 minutes. All right, let's take a look. Perfect. And we did stir it in between one time. And we'll end off with about a 1/4 teaspoon of amchur or dry mango powder. And that's optional and to taste. And mix it in.
So our spinach curry with chanas is ready. You can have it with chapati, you can actually, it's a great consistency, you can even have it with rice. And it's really wholesome. So you got your proteins, your greens, everything all in one.
One shot. Can't beat that.
Right. So enjoy your spinach curry with chanas and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.